Hello, I am Einmeister, and after a lot of thought I decided to make this video. I wasn't sure at first, I was a bit afraid of making it, but I think that I should release the truth to the public. A few months ago, 1 month ago, we have received an email from a competition that me and two people I met online participated in. It was the European Space Agency Moon Camp Pioneers contest, where you had to design a 3D base that you are supposed to put on the moon, model it in Fusion 360, then render, and submit with a lot of information about how it is supposed to work. It isn't only an artistic contest, it is also a bit of engineering for young people of my age. It was from about 15 to 19 years old. I am 18, so I was still eligible to participate in that contest, and I surely put a lot of effort into it. I should be happy that I got second place, yet I'm quite displeased about how the European Space Agency treated us and about the results of the competition. I think that it is unfair that we only got second place, and I know this sounds very cliche, but I will present my reasons in the video. So let me first present you the moon base that me and my teammates designed and that I modeled and rendered. I put a lot of hours into it. I woke up, I started working on it. I then realized that it is 8 in the evening and I haven't eaten anything. I did this day after day to model everything, to make every dimension perfect, to basically not only make something that looks good, but also something that is good from an engineering point of view. And I came to this. For example, if you want to approve that this isn't bullshit, the walls of the holes are about 40 centimeters wide. In inches that would be 14, I don't know. And the walls of the domes are about 60 centimeters wide. Well, let me present the renders that I made. I have about 12 or 13 renders that I rendered in Blender. I first modeled in Fusion, then exported via Moai 3D and set textures. Even though we had a requirement to upload at least one render or screenshot from Fusion 360, and we did that. Here is a top view in Fusion 360 just to get into the rules of the competition. We obeyed all of them. Well, the rest of the renders are fully in Blender. This is a top view, back view. On both of them a friend helped me with color editing. They weren't as nicely graded before. Here this is also a bit edited for the colors. The rest is fully from Blender that I set up. The light and the image in the background and the textures is set by me. Here you see I added a Blender logo there. I thought it would be funny, but I think that pissed off Autodesk, which decreased our chances to win, because of course Blender is their competitor and it's a lot better program since it's free and it has a lot more features and that the community is a lot wider. The underground, you see we have batteries and tanks with water or oxygen to spare from basically the rest of them is from whatever we harvest on the moon. This is a generator that also a filter. I don't know, my colleagues can explain that better. I just modeled. I'm an artist. The hall, the kitchen, a bit warmer over here. The staircase, I spent a lot making calculus for that to figure out the degrees on how it would work and how it would look actually good. Top view of the stairs. And the garden, I had to learn a new add-on to add all of the grass and moved it around because that wasn't the end. I had to make it look good because the procedural generated things are not always great. The hanger and the deposit. Those are the diplomas that we received in the competition. Yeah. So let's move to the other one. Also, as a disclaimer, I don't want to shame the other team. I truly appreciate that they participated, and I don't think it's a bad thing that they submitted something like this, but the amount of effort is a lot lower, the end result is a lot weaker, and all my criticism is against the European jury. As you can see, it is divided into regions, ESA and non-ESA member states. This is the winner for the first place in the ESA member states, and here we are. The first one, it is a shiny cylinder. Let's look at the renders. Shiny tube, lightsaber. The renders unreadable. There are arrows that point to literal flat colors. They didn't model anything for this. As long as you can't see what is there, you can't really leave it for the imagination. They couldn't be bothered to add anything here. Well, the quality doesn't really, again, the quality doesn't really matter that they submitted it. I am more mad at the jury because this is truly not acceptable for the first place, especially since not even us, but a lot of other projects that didn't win anything had the objects they were mentioning in their images. Racks, sure. Distribution space, we can't see anything. Server space, nothing. Multifunctional space, beds, I guess. Storage, there isn't a lot of storage. Again, arrows pointing to nothing. Toilet, we can't see the toilet or the washing cabin. This is a rover, it has no space in the capsule. I don't know how they launched it, and they don't have any place to store it inside the capsule. They store it outside, and the moon dust continues to damage it, and the maintenance on the rover is a lot harder since it is outside in the space. This is why we have a hanger to store the rover inside. And here they added a lot of fancy words. Kinda basically just threw it onto the moon like a rocket, like a bomb. A lot of fun facts from Wikipedia. Again, fun facts from Wikipedia and fancy words with graphs, you know, the corporate style of presentation. We literally explain the same thing in our text, you see? In the project description you have all of this. You can read it in your spare time. This is too much for me to read on the video. But we literally explain the same cycle in easier words in our project description. We didn't have to add a whole image because the image was reserved for renders or screenshots for beds. I thought this was a capsule for 2 people. I don't know why 4 beds are here. Yeah, this makes no sense. A lot of small items. I guess it's an artistic render. They get the capsule. the presentation. Well, I'm really disappointed. Is this really the first place? The effort is seen, like, our idea is not even a lot worse. For example, their project keeps their rover outside. The launch method doesn't really make sense because it will basically crash and be destroyed when it falls on the surface of Moon. They keep their plants inside and power them with electricity, which they can't produce. They don't have any solar panels anywhere. I think they mentioned it in their description, but they don't really show any placement of the solar panels anywhere. And the graphics are obviously and objectively a lot worse. This is why I chose Blender for rendering, because Fusion 360 objectively sucks at rendering. It can't even show the geometry of stuff. It looks so blurry and weird. This is why I hate Fusion 360 renderer. Well, now let's move to the second part of the video. Besides the part that those people with the lightsaber won a 3D printer, and I don't know, we won some kind of t-shirts or something. We didn't get our prize yet. Besides this, we and the entire rest of the Moon Camp Pioneers contest and Explorers, which is smaller, well, kids, and the free category where both of us can participate. All of the teams that won in each category and in ESA and non-ESA member states were treated horribly. Let me explain. So a part of the prize for all the winning teams was that you could participate in a webinar with a real astronaut. He was really kind, but the problem doesn't stand in that. We had to send a video of our team asking a question to the astronaut, and that video was the only way we could ever interact with him. So it was a private webinar with him. It wasn't streamed anywhere except YouTube, but it was unlisted, so only we had the link. So we started the webinar and we could use our cameras and microphones, but the astronaut wasn't there. It was only some employees from the European Space Agency. Then when we could finally start the entire thing, they disabled our access to microphones and forced to shut down our videos. And then the webinar started. The astronaut could not see us and we could not say anything to him. The only way our questions got to him were from the videos we recorded previously. Their argument for that was that basically the internet connection is bad and they can't afford us to have a bad internet connection during the webinar, so they wanted a recording. Well, what's the point of a private webinar then? Why do we have this privilege to meet an astronaut if we can find the same information on Google and we couldn't even interact with him? At the end, when he had to leave, they allowed us to turn our cameras and microphones on again. Basically, while he was there, we were ghosts. No, you can't talk to the astronaut, Jimmy. Who do you think you are? What if the specific 20 or 30 people that participated turn out to be trolls? People whose schools and real life literally almost address we know. What if they become trolls? What if they interrupt Mr. Astronaut with bad questions? What if ESA turns out to stream something bad on their unlisted video. And after that, it was all shiny and happy again. They wanted us to turn our cameras on for some sort of group picture or something. This is not good intended, or I mean, for us at least. They only did this to prove that they did the meeting to get their paychecks, of course. Wow. So I looked at information about last year's contest, the same thing. And at least last year they were able to ask questions without the stupid video. They were able to keep their cameras on while the webinar was going on. We were treated like in a parasocial discussion where we're just objects and the guy is the center of attention, the only guy that can speak. You know, we can use Reddit to ask people, astronauts. We can search on Google. We can see a lot of information, and it's not like he can give us private stuff, like underground stuff that you get from a friend that isn't allowed to be in public. No, it's just whatever is allowed already. So I am really disappointed by the way they treated us, both the fact that we wrongly lost the competition, which is, of course, it's not objective. They didn't take the talent objectively. I don't know if it's rigged or something. I don't know if the jury knows personally the kids from Czech Republic that won the 3D printer sponsored by Autodesk. Or if it's something political that they just don't want Romania to win anything. They just put us on second place and third place to show that it can't win first place. And it's also the way they treated us in the webinar that was basically a part of the prize. So, in conclusion, I am still happy that I participated in this contest. It makes a good piece for my university portfolio, and I have learned a lot of new stuff, such as teamwork. Up until now, I only did stuff alone. But I don't really take seriously the places. I will never take this agency or company or whatever seriously again. They hid it under the rug. By the way, they didn't post anything about the project finalists or the winners on any of their social medias. They hid it under the rug like we were some sort of disappointment, and I just wanted to get over it faster. We were literally treated like trash, you know. Oh man, I have to go get the trash. You go outside to the garbage bins and you throw it in. Finally, you got rid of it. You never mention it to any friends, because what does it even matter? Oh, will you tell someone that I went to throw the trash and what was inside that trash and describe it? No, you won't do that. Of course. And I don't think my effort is trash. My teammates want to participate next year as well, but I don't really know if it is worth the effort anyway. I will look for other competitions, but even if I can't participate next year, I will be 19 years old. I don't think I will. Screw you, ESA, I will never participate in your contests again, and I will never encourage anyone to participate in your shit, because it is rigged and you treat your participants like human garbage. Whatever I won as second place, by the way, to all the listeners, it is not money. I didn't win probably anything valuable. It is probably a cap or a pen with the ESA and Airbus logo, because everything they included in the prizes category was Airbus and ESA goodies, which can mean anything. Whatever I will win, be it a t-shirt, a cap, or a pen with their logo, I will keep it as a parody. I don't think I will ever wear them. I will literally put them in my drawer, and when I will look at them, I will remember and laugh at this funny experience and how much of a parody this piece of shit company is. Thank you for listening, and see ya.